Hey, what is up everybody? I'm Jason and you're watching my channel, Micro Investor. So in this video, we're going to be doing a follow-up one to the last video I made talking about Workhorse, how they just recently lost the USPS contract to Oshkosh Corp. And Oshkosh isn't really looking to be making a lot of electric vehicles. Maybe 10% of the fleet could be electric. But I was talking about how the ball could probably go back into Workhorse's court because of that reason. And we also know that Biden is all for making electric vehicles and wants to make all the vehicles that the federal government has electric. So there's a lot more at play here than what a lot of people might think. So I want to talk about Workhorse stock, where it is right now, how the stock has been coming down, and where we could possibly see this thing going. Is this still worth buying? I'll just talk about all that and give my opinions in this video. So as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor and please be sure to smash, destroy, and annihilate that like button because that helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and helps spread my videos to more people that might find them interesting. Also subscribe if you have not already, and if you guys are interested in being a Patreon, I do have one. The link is in the description and I have a private Discord attached to it. Alright, now let's get to it. So this is Workhorse's stock. At the time of filming this, the market cap is now below $2 billion. Now, the 52-week range, though, of Workhorse's stock is something that you really need to understand, is that over the last 52 weeks, Workhorse's stock has been trading between $1.32 and about $43. So it's pretty broad different price ranges. And if we look at the stock over the last year, what we can really understand is that when the whole big announcement about the USPS contract, possibly being there for Workhorse to take, them being, pretty good candidate for that, that was when there was a lot of movement in the stock. A lot of investors really invested into that stock for just that reason alone. And now without that news, the stock's going on this big dip that's going on. And there's still more room for the stock to drop because of that. And definitely do think about that when investing into it, that there is a possibility that this can drop down even more, especially when you look at the different prices that Workhorse has been trading for over the years. Now, in my opinion, Workhorse is worth much more than they were this time last year. Now, the potential USPS deal that they had did really help them out a lot. It helped give them a lot of publicity. It also brought a lot of interest into the company. And not only that, it allowed them to showcase what they have to offer. Workhorse is kind of an industry changer in a way. This isn't a company that just makes these last mile delivery vehicles. They also have the drones that are patented, not only that. And that is a market that does have a lot of potential use in the future. These are drones that are designed to ship out of a facility, like say an Amazon facility, and fly with a small package and drop it off at someone's location. This is a drone that is made to launch out of a vehicle with with a handler there in the vehicle, and that be able to go right to the customer and come back and mount back on a charge. That is something that is very useful for rural areas. And a pretty big market that Workhorse could be able to sell to when the right buyers are interested in buying those vehicles. And there are the right buyers out there, and having patents on something like that is worth a lot of money. Now, there are plenty of smaller independent contractor delivery companies that partner with the bigger guys, but also just getting in there with the bigger guys like UPS, FedEx, Amazon, that would be ideal, and that could possibly be what Kathy Woods of ARK Invest is banking on, with adding even more shares of Workhorse when the stock is dropping on the bad news of them not getting that USPS contract. Now, if we look at where Workhorse is sitting on ARK's Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF, ticker symbol ARKQ, Workhorse is currently number 26 on the holdings. Workhorse makes up 1.42% of the holdings in that ETF, and ARK has invested more than $51.3 million into Workhorse. And Workhorse also has their stake in Lordstown Motors, and given Lordstown Motors' current stock price, Workhorse's share of that is worth over $300 million. So also have to take that into consideration. Now, what I'm really trying to get to my bullish opinion of Workhorse is that there is more to this company than just being a one catalyst pony. Like, say, for example, this article that was published by Trucks.com, which said Workhorse Group wins its largest electric delivery truck order, and this article was from January 4th, 2021. Now, Pride Group Enterprises will buy 6,320 C-Series all-electric delivery vehicles. The deal with the Ontario, Canada-based truck leasing and sales company is split between Workhorse's C1000 and C650 models and is subject to various production and delivery conditions. So there is more driving this company than just the expectations that they were going to get USPS. There are real revenue situations coming to this company, and they have a lot of potential in the years to come with these contracts that they're making. Now let's go back to talking about how Workhorse can end up winning the contract for USPS and taking it away from Oshkosh Group. A House Democrat who advocates for the U.S. Postal Service to electrify its vehicle fleet said that they're going to block the contract that was awarded to Oshkosh. The House Democrats said this is an urgent situation where we cannot allow this contract to go forward. Representative Jared Huffman, who is a Democrat from California, said in the interview. And you have to expect that a congressman who represents California to say that because California is looking to ban the sale of new combustion engine vehicles by 2035. And many companies are working on catering to that. We know that Ford and GM are converting their factories to start being able to produce more electric vehicles. So this is already a way that things are going. So it really does not make sense that they would order a bunch of combustion engine vehicles that would represent the United States Postal Service that could be in operation for 20 years at the rate that they keep those vehicles around and take to get new funding to buy new vehicles. And this deal is huge. This could be a huge waste of money for taxpayers. It could be worth $6 billion. They have 10 years in the contract to manufacture a new fleet of as many as 165,000 postal delivery vehicles with either fuel-efficient internal combustion engines or battery electric powertrains. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy said Wednesday that the service has plans for only 10% of its new truck fleet to be electric. That just sounds like a giant waste of taxpayer money, in my opinion. And Workhorse is the only all-electric vehicle maker in the running, and they said they intend to explore all avenues available to it in the government bidding process. And this whole situation is getting really hot. And DeJoy has a lot of fire under him right now. Now, President Joe Biden said on Thursday, February 25th, by the way, said he wants leaders who can do a better job running the service. Now, that's pretty bad. Signaling DeJoy could be at risk of losing his job. And this thing is so politically driven. So only the Postal Service Board of Governors can decide to keep or remove DeJoy, a donor to former President Donald Trump. But Biden announced 3 nominees to the board on Wednesday. If confirmed by the Senate, they would give Democrats a majority of the board's 9 slots. Now, more than likely, we know that this decision was all politically based, and the Democrats would want an electric vehicle fleet for the USPS vehicles, but that does not mean because DeJoy is a donor of Trump's that had any decision to do with it, because Trump was all for Workhorse and Lordstown Motors. He even did a big publicity thing with Lordstown Motors. So that would be the route that he would go anyways, but it's just taking this complete opposite turn, probably just to make parties angry. Now, Congressman Jared Huffman also said that there could be litigation on the contract from environmental groups. He thinks there is a great desire in Congress, in this new administration, and among clean vehicle advocates outside of government to allow DeJoy to sabotage this golden opportunity, he said. Huffman called the decision a poke in the eye for the Biden administration, given its recent push for electric vehicles. And Biden does not just want the USPS fleet to be electric, he wants the entire fleet of the federal government to run on electric vehicles, which makes up about 650,000 vehicles. So he's very much all for pushing electric vehicles. And where things get really ugly is that the $6 billion to fund these vehicles was already approved in a bill last year. And if Oshkosh is removed from the contract, it could take a very long time to just solve this whole thing and then find another company to do it. And more than likely, what could happen is Oshkosh could end up keeping that $480 million that they're paid to basically build a working design for approval on this. So all that we can really hope for from this deal is that there is some sort of solution that is solved, and that they make a decision on who is going to be making these vehicles, and hopefully it is Workhorse, because that would be really nice for all the shareholders. And with that, they can solve this whole thing without really wasting a lot more of taxpayer dollars. Anyways, I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on this. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. New videos coming out on my channel all the time. Thank you guys for watching.